What's up everyone? Today we're looking at some of the top hidden loot locations on Chernarus. Now these aren't hidden in the sense that there's some underground secret base or buried cache no one's ever seen before, but rather we'll be looking at some anomalies in DAYZ's central loot economy, as well as some areas you may not have thought to check. Starting us off, we are at the Capitol building in Chernogorsk. So as you may or may not know, the way loot typically works in DayZ is the map is essentially broken up into tiers. You spawn at the coast in Tier 1, where you'll find some basic gear and weapons, and as you progress further inland, you'll find yourself in higher tiers, and likewise will find better guns. But for some reason, this town square in Cherno breaks these rules, offering Tier 3 loot right at the start. Now, while the Capitol building itself offers little more than enchanting views and an annoying clock chime, the restaurants and shops that line the plaza all fall under this Tier 3 umbrella. Meaning you can find guns like the DAYZ, CR527, and even the mighty Mosin at this location. This Tier 3 area extends from the buildings behind the Capitol all the way to the railway overpass at the end of the courtyard, so be sure to check all these buildings thoroughly. Our next location is right down the road at the CHERNO Industrial Park, located between the port and downtown Chernogorsk. This area, once again located right at the spawn, is actually a unique loot tier location. These unique tier zones are found all over the map and are usually large factories or quarries, where you can find the plastic explosive and its associated detonator. The best place to find loot in DayZ is still on players and in their bases, seeing that they've done the work already for you. These plastic explosives will potentially allow you to access player bases fairly early on, saving you hours of farming military bases for ammo and grenades. Or you could just, booby trap Cherno PD and have yourself a laugh, whatever floats your boat. For number 3, we're jumping over to Livonia. These bunkers, while not exactly hidden, deserve a mention on this list because they offer one of the most foolproof and underutilized loot routes probably in the entire game. Starting at the northern town of Lukau and running pretty much to the edge of the large forested area down south, these 30 plus bunkers offer military loot, which once you cross over the river begins Tier 2, meaning you'll find things like the M16, AK-74, SKS, and so on. For the most part, they're spaced out by only a couple hundred meters, making it extremely easy to go from fresh spawn to full military gear in like 20 minutes, provided you have enough food and water to travel. Dynamic gas zones. As the name suggests, this annoying fucking bullshit can happen anywhere, at any time. Preceded only by a silent, near-invisible flare seconds before impact, these gas strikes can mean certain death for the unprepared and unobservant. But within this inhospitable toxic death zone lie some tasty treats. These POX or POX grenades are found only in dynamic gas zones, spawned in sync with the detonation of artillery. When Bohemia introduced these gas grenades, I thought they were kind of silly and broke the realism of the game, but I guess it can be assumed that they're bits of unexploded ordnance from these chemical strikes. Which still makes no fucking sense that this little fragile sphere survived being shot out of a cannon and exploded 30 feet above the ground, but regardless of their realism, their existence is very real. Now there are a couple of ways to go about retrieving these safely. Obviously, if you carry around a full NBC suit at all times, you're good to go. Just walk in and take what you like. These gas grenades will always spawn around the center of the toxic cloud where the artillery strike occurred. This can also be done with only a gas mask and some bandages, provided you don't spend a lot of time in the gas and patch up any bleeds you get as soon as possible. If you don't have any protection, it is possible to cure gas poisoning by giving yourself a blood transfusion as long as the blood is clean, meaning it was taken before any contact with the toxic gas or after a period of 15 minutes. However, this will not work once the gas poisoning reaches level 3, which happens only after a few minutes of exposure, so do so at your own risk. Anyway, next on our list we have the crates, located inside this large corrugated metal building at Lopatino. Lopatino, along with the other towns that surround the Northwest Airfield, are considered to be Tier 4 civilian spawns. However, these military containers also fall under this Tier 4 umbrella, making them the only Tier 4 spawns outside Tizzy and Tricrusta Pass. Tier 4 is home to the military-style NBC suit, which has the obvious advantage of not being bright fucking yellow. It's also where you'll find the extremely rare AK-101, so there's plenty of opportunity for these to house some really solid gear, without having to risk it all fighting goddamn bush people at Tizzy. So now that I've given up all my favorite loot spots and angered the gatekeeping DayZ community, the least you can do is subscribe to the channel. I've got more tutorials, tips, and tricks videos planned like this one, so if you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit the little bell icon and turn on notifications so you don't miss out. And we'll see you in the next one.